That this man, if it's not Quartararo, they'll be wanting this man to stand on the top. A big wave here. Wow.
It'll be a close race for sure. The Quartararo, I think, is going to do a great race because he had an incredible pace in warm-up.
For Alex Rins, the last man to podium in Motogp from outside the top 10 on the grid was Dani Pedrosa right here in Le Mans
race, and they're all going for soft front, soft rear at the start of this one. Do they fear rain?
Petrucci and Jack Miller, and all Italian row 2 led by Andrea Dovizioso with Maverick Vinales and Pol Espargaro. That rounds out your 4th row. Row 5 led by the rookies, way down the order in 19th place at the head of row 7 with Tito Rabat and Happy Cyrene.
Off we go on the warm-up lap in dry conditions, and off we go with Fabio Quartararo.
Oh, somebody's
gone down. Who's
What's
that?
happening at the back?
That's
Joan
Mir.
What on earth? To turn 3. Mir's mare continues.
Carol Abraham is a pretty cool guy. He's going over to ask Joan Mir what's happened. Now let's have a look at this. Mir going in,
hard rear. I've never seen anything quite like that. 2 riders crashing on the warm-up lap. Unbelievable, in separate incidents.
Crazy stuff already, and we've not even...
Pair of them hit the brakes, the front locked.
Who will be the finest in France? It's lights out in Le Mans. Good start from Danilo Petrucci, but a brilliant start from Marc Marquez on pole position, who's desperate to go into turn 1 in first. Danilo Petrucci's got that inside line though, but Marquez is going to try and pounce into turn number 3.
Corners, Dovizioso back in 7th, a lot of work to do. He's been passed by Morbidelli, he's been passed by Rossi, and the hard-charging Pol Espargaro, who's been brilliant on the KTM.
Onto the back straight we go. Marquez was a bit hot into turn 8, but he's...
Franco Morbidelli.
Great start for Pol Espargaro as well. He's right in the mix. There he is, number 44, behind 21 Morbidelli.
Yeah, started 12th with Pol Espargaro, now into 5th place. He's picked off Franco Morbidelli. This is brilliant by the KTM man.
Petrucci there will
He's
be
going
gutted.
up inside of Rossi as well. Look at Pol Espargaro. Sorry, Steve, he's up in the 4th. He's running hot at the museum corner. Rossi sweeps straight back on through, but Pol Espargaro...
It's where he feels like he struggles the most. Can these guys use that Ducati power up the top of the hill once more? On board here with Jack Miller in 3rd, desperate to get by his own.
He's made up some good moves. 15th, Crutchlow started. He's 9th now, 1:33.573, but Marquez is clicking into top gear.
Yeah, good start that from Crutchlow, I agree. Here comes Miller up the inside of Danilo Petrucci. Well, the door was left open there.
All that hard work undone by Petrucci. He's got to go again.
You know, Marquez was a little wide then as well. That's just allowed Miller a bit closer down into turn number 8. If you watch this, you'll look at Danilo Petrucci. He's gone wide. Marquez was a bit as well. Then Pol Espargaro. Lorenzo starting to get himself into the mood a bit here as well. The best we've seen of him all season long on a Honda.
Certainly is. Hasn't registered the top 10 so far this year, Jorge Lorenzo. Ilaro, who's had a real stagnant start to the race, he's down in 14th place, so not the start that he needed as Dovizioso's got up the inside of Valentino Rossi on the run down to Shimano Berth. Brilliantly done by Dovizioso. He used the acceleration
through turn 1. Will he have a look into the chicane?
Cool, Jack Miller looks awesome. He was 0.3 of a second quicker, and Miller's up the inside of Marc Marquez. Jack Miller then leads the French Grand Prix, a race winner here 5 years ago in Moto3. In Austin, led the whole race in Jerez. This is the first time Jack Miller or anybody else in MotoGP has put a move on him since Qatar, the opening Grand Prix.
And Marquez will know that Miller does not pose a championship threat. He won't do anything for the world champion now.
Now, I'm not going to criticise Jack Miller when he's taking it to Marc Marquez in this French Grand Prix, but if there is one slight weakness that Miller's got, it's his time management in the latter stage.
The line into turn 7 a moment ago, but he still leads. Onto the back straight we go. Is Dovi able to close that gap? No, at the moment it's building a bit. Let's see. Oh, actually, on that last second.
Well, how many times have we said Miller versus Marquez? Here comes Marquez. He's picked Miller's pocket brilliantly there up at turn number 3. He got in hot. Now, can Miller get him on the cutback coming over the crest out of turn 4? Yes, he can. That's just the power of the Ducati. Marquez was in hot. Down into La Chapelle. Miller on the inside. Look at this. Brought Dovizioso and Rossi right back into it. Dovizioso came over the line 0.7 of a second behind Marc Marquez, and now Petrucci has done that. So Petrucci now up in a 5th place, and as soon as he got through on Polispargo, he did a 1:33.010, his fastest lap of the race. Clear track in front of him now. DNS for him. His tough rookie season continues.
Maverick had no idea. As it is that leads from Miller, from Dovi. Yellow flags being waved. You can't overtake at this point.
This is the team Marquez and Miller. They both registered 32.6s. Andrea Iannoni's pitted on the factory at Brilliant. Now I suspect that that's probably physically induced. He's battered and bruised still from the FP4 crash in Jerez. Garage Petrucci, once he got through on Polispargo, 2 laps in a row now, he set his personal best lap of the race. Last time around in the 32s, 32.809. He's 8
Marc Marquez is taking 2 tenths out of them from the last corner to turn 1.
Dovizioso's got to find a way through on Miller pretty quickly, because he'll see that Marquez is just Morbidelli, Crutchlow and Lorenzo at bay.
Into turn 8 for Marquez. He's just got a bit of breathing space here on this lap. He's gapped up to 4 tenths at the front. On board here. Hang on, is this with Marquez?
So at turn 3, Dovizioso just couldn't turn in because
just fallen a bit behind and is starting to fall into the hands of Danilo Petrucci.
The trouble is Dovizioso's got no machine advantage or no tyre advantage. He's on an identical motorcycle to Jack Miller. Marquez having the acceleration. He's such a demon on the brakes himself. You've got to be able to put a real smart move on Marquez to outbrake Marc Marquez and put a big dent in his early championship challenge. You've just proved that you cannot be starting MotoGP races. From one thing to get on the back wheel of the Doctor, it's a completely different ball game to try and find a way through and overtake him. And that's the puzzle facing Petrucci right now. So just cannot get close enough to even show him a wheel. Petrucci. And he's close enough. That's aggressive. He just cut that inside line. He took the inside line.
And it's a podium if they stay here.
Well, just looking, 12.7 seconds is the closest KTM have been to the race winner in dry conditions. Polispargo well on course for KTM, a second quicker than his teammate. So in dispensing with Rossi, just shows how much time Petrucci lost.
This leader, the gap now at the front is over a second for Marc Marquez. Things are starting to get into a rhythm now for the World Champion. Over the line we go, and we have reached the halfway point of the race.
Yeah, and again, just that couple of tenths quicker, like you say, Steve.
Rossi not able to stick with Danilo Petrucci. He's in a bit of a lonely 5th now. There is Alex Rin.
Grand Prix. But of course we did see early on lap 3 that crucial run-off at Garage Fair. That really did cost quicker than Polispargo. And his name's Marc Marquez, the race leader and a 5-time MotoGP World Champion. Crucially, we need to see how Jack Miller's been able to manage those tyres. Andrea Dovizioso, well, we know, race-type race. It's all a little bit too little too late as Jack Miller's in wide at the museum corner. He's in well wide. And Andrea Dovizioso, well, he didn't have to tussle it down the podium to keep Danilo Petrucci at bay. There's a lot at stake between Petrucci and Miller. They're both vying for that cup has got. They cannot live with this man's form right now.
You know, if this man...
And Alex Rins, impressive by Quartararo. He's taken chunks of time out of Alex Rins. Some tweaks from Friday would have helped to be a little bit more competitive, but at the moment Rossi running a relatively lonely 5th spot. He's a second behind. He's got a lot of time left. Now it's Lorenzo that's wide into Garage Fair. Run into a little bit of trouble. He said on Friday in the dry, uncharacteristic ambition from Andrea Dovizioso. He was being too aggressive on the bike, creating a lot of wheel spin, and thus, just checking some stats. Yeah, he was aiming for top 6s. Look at this, Petrucci's got through. Petrucci up into 3rd place then on Jack Miller.
Yeah, he's going to get 2nd as well. He's in really good rhythm at the moment.
Beaten by his teammate Danilo Petrucci, that's for sure. He's not going to want to lose crucial championship points to his teammate. He's going to have to do a lot of defending though over these last 7 laps.
Tender is Fabio Quartararo.
Yeah, there's just always one card not slotting into the deck nicely, isn't there, for Fabio Quartararo? The Gish.
I want to look at the lap times here of the Ducatis versus Rossi.
And he said you have to take a lot of risks with the hard rear tyre to generate the right heat into it. Obviously today it's just too cold to take that gamble. I mean, nobody even went for the medium. That just gives you an indication of how much the...
Who will be on the podium? You wouldn't want to make that call right now.
Well, history has proven, and data that's released every...
It's so unusual, the lap times further back. Riders that are able to put in their fastest laps. Crutchlow's just put in his PB, a 32.3 from Quartararo as well.
Team communications of Andreevich
To manage that, Aleix Espargaro's been given a 1.4 second pen.
Petrucci's having another look. Another look up the inside at Museum Corner. There's no way through.
Well, one thing you don't want to do is...
Down to a battle of the two factory Ducatis, Dovizioso versus Petrucci. Petrucci looked at this move last time around. He's gone through at Museum Corner. Is he in hot? He certainly is in hot. Dovizioso, just as he did.
Fabio Quartararo doesn't just fancy 8th here. 4-8 finish, where they're within 10 seconds of a race winner. They're on course for that right now. This would feel every bit as good as that podium.
Down into Museum Corner. He's under the pump from Petrucci, is Andrea Dovizioso.
We're coming up for one lap to go here in France. Who will be on the podium? On the podium, he'll hope it's not Dovizioso in second, of course, so that he can do more damage to his opponents if he's not already done that psychologically. There's the first chance.
Fair. Will he take the risk? Will he go for it and lunge up the inside of Andrea Dovizioso?
It's going to be turn 9. He's got to get good.
Marquez set to register another famous winner, record breaker for Honda.
Marquez makes it 300 for Honda here in Le Mans, and it is going to be Dovizioso that holds on for second place, with Danilo Petrucci in third. Fourth place.
As you know, we worked very hard in the house. KTM pushed so hard from the...
He dominated yet again. Briefly yielded.
A world of his own right now, but somehow Dovizioso is going to go to his home race and Ducati's home race. Only 8.
Work, was it?
Yes, the feeling it wasn't special.
Has the honour of handing over the trophy to Marc Marquez, his 120th podium, 85.